The Joe Rogan Experience.
When you look at the current political landscape, particularly these trials, how disturbed are you by what seems to be this acceptance that people have for prosecuting political opponents? Because to me, it's, regardless of what you think about Donald Trump as a human being and the polarizing figure that he is, setting the precedent of trying your political opponents to somehow or another either put them in jail or make them seem like complete total criminals in a way that would, for the casual, for the person who's not reading deep into the headlines, for the casual Democrat that sees this Trump real estate thing that just happened where he got fined $365 million. The casuals, I've seen people argue, that, fraud is fraud and this is that and he's a fucking fraud. And then I saw Kevin O'Leary explain it from Shark Tank. He was saying this is what every real estate developer does. They say, my building's worth $400 million. And then someone comes along from the bank and they say, no, it's worth $300 million. We'll give you a loan on $300 million or whatever it is, whatever the number.
It's a negotiation.
But also, real estate pricing in general is a strange thing to say that's fraud because people overvalue their property all the time. I mean, it's a standard thing that people do. When someone has a house and it's worth $700,000, they decide to list it as $900,000, and the real estate person says, "Well, it's really pushing it." The guy's like, "That's what I want. I think it's worth $900,000." Like, people have always done weird shit like that. For sure. And then when you have this leftist judge that says that Mar-a-Lago is worth $18 million, like, then you just showed all your silly hands. You showed your hand, because that's a crazy thing to say in a place that has the most expensive real estate on earth.
Yeah, and and the Mar-a-Lago property is not worth $18 million. I mean, that's absurd.
Isn't it like 18 acres?
Yeah, it's huge. It covers both sides of the little key or whatever you call it, the little island. But the bigger question is the question that was first raised by the presidency of Richard Nixon, that is now coming to fruition with the presidency and the kind of ex-presidency of Donald Trump. We have a democratic system that favors Trump in the sense that he won in 2016. He's winning the primary right now for Republicans in 2024. But you have a bureaucracy that is dead set against him. And the rhetoric amounts to a very odd claim. They essentially say, we want to keep him off the ballot. We want to put him in prison. We want to bankrupt him so he can't become the president, even if the people support him. We want to deprive the people of making the decision. So you want to take it out of the realm of politics and into the realm of administrative justice or the criminal justice system, right, and adjudicate it in that way on bogus pretexts. I mean, the cases are bogus. And so the question that we're raising is, who actually rules in this country? Is it the American people who get to decide by their vote who represents them in the government? Or is it the permanent bureaucracy that has accumulated so much power? What they can say even to Donald Trump has been one of the most famous people in the world for decades. He's enormously wealthy. He's already been the president of the United States. He's a powerful person. And the message is, we can take out anyone that is a threat to the interests of the system that we've built up. And so, as someone I didn't vote for Trump in 2016, I did vote for him for 2020. I'll absolutely vote for him now in 2024. It is a contest of how we think of our democratic system. And I'm of the mind that the people should decide, not the bureaucracy. And this is a contest where Democrats are saying, essentially, we have to destroy democracy in order to save democracy. Democracy has very different meanings in the two usages in that sentence. We have to destroy democracy as we've traditionally known it, electing a president through a vote of the people, in order to save democracy, which is ruled by expert opinion, ruled by the bureaucracy, and essentially left-wing hegemony, left-wing domination over institutions. And as someone who tries to maximize whatever I can do to push forward on these issues politically, it's not lost on me that if they can wipe out someone like Donald Trump, we're all table stakes relatively.
Yeah.
And they're going to have no hesitation, because once they cross the Rubicon, metaphorically speaking, you know, that's when dissent becomes a crime. And we've already seen that. You know, I reported on the kind of gender ideology in schools and, work with some of the parent groups that were trying to mobilize. And they all got put on an FBI list. We know this for sure. A FBI counterterrorism list.
Jeez.
That was specifically for parent school board protesters. So if you participate in the democratic process, we'll turn you into a criminal. I hate that with every fiber of my being. And whatever threats come my way, whatever lawsuits, whatever investigations come my way, it's worth it. Take me to prison. Fine, let's do this. Because we have to actually confront these questions head on. We need to have people that have enough courage courage without risk is not courage.
What you're saying is not hyperbole. I mean,
No, these are facts.
Yeah.
These are documented facts.
And again, because it's a person like Donald Trump, you get people thinking, like, if you could stop Hitler by any means necessary, wouldn't you stop Hitler? And so they equate Donald Trump with Hitler and go, here you go, this is our modern Hitler. Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it because it's so
on TV.
crazy.
She said this
on television. Find that, young Jamie, because it's
That's
so.
amazing. Claps.
That's not what it means at all.
Yeah, no.
But the fact that she says that so confidently, like if you're willing to let Donald Trump use presidential immunity, that means Joe Biden could just go crazy and arrest all the Republicans, because that's what that means. No, that's not what that means, even a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
no,
you just
not at
added a
all.
whole bunch of stuff to what that means.